Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to give you 10 reasons why the narcissist is actually having sex with you. And you may be surprised at some or all of these. All right. The reason why I found it important to do this video is because those of you that have dealt with the narcissist in a romantic situation, and some of you could have even grown up with a narcissist, a trusted family member that actually touched you in that way, that's not what this video is going to be addressing, molestation or rape per se. But just for those of you that were in a romantic relationship with a narcissist that crossed over into sexual interactions, such as those of you that were married. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and give you the 10 reasons because, a lot of you have those soul ties now that you are out of that relationship and you feel like your body is craving perhaps at times that sexual relationship that you had with a narcissist. So just as I wanted you to be turned off by the love bomb phase with a narcissist, I certainly want you to be turned off from sexual activities with a narcissist. I want you to want to basically throw up and pretty much be disgusted with this human being and definitely not want them to lay their hands on you at all ever again. Okay, there's nothing wrong with craving sex. We're all human beings are having sexuality, but just not from that person who disrespected you on every level. Okay, so if you're struggling with the soul tie with a narcissist, hopefully this video will help you see why the narcissist was actually having sex with you. Okay, so the first thing that I have on my list, number one, is to add an additional tool for manipulation. Yes. Once the narcissist starts having sex with you, now they're thinking, okay, this is something I'm providing for this person, like a service, basically. Now, I can use this service once I see that the survivor enjoys it or, starts to rely on this from me. Now, I can use it when I want to try to control, basically, the survivor. Okay, so the narcissist is throwing another tool here in their bag of tricks. Okay, now I can manipulate this person with sex. All right. Number two on my list I have is to increase their self-esteem as they think they're the best. So this is basically attention seeking. As we all know that narcissists are attention seeking individuals. And I haven't met a narcissist that didn't think that they were the best lover or the best sexually. And this is whether I was actually with them romantic or not. Just listening to narcissists talk about their sexuality, they really have that inflated sense of themselves when it comes to that area. Okay, so they could have sex with you to stroke their ego. If they're having sex with you and they feel like they're knocking it out the ballpark, then of course, yes, they're getting supply out of that. Okay, but again, this has nothing to do with you. Just like number one, that was about control, not you. Number two is about their self-esteem and getting the supply from feeling like they satisfied you better than anyone else. Okay. So number three on my list is to get you to bond with them. Okay. They know that once, particularly for you women, that once they start having sex with you, this is going to connect you to them. This is a one-way street, by the way, in a certain way that would allow you to be that much more vulnerable and hopefully in their minds, gullible to them and their wants and their needs and what's going on. They want your eyes to become clouded now because you're just full of all this sex. You're on cloud nine and, you're looking at the left hand and while the right hand is doing some things and you're not really catching it because you're just focused on that left hand, which is the sex. Okay, that can be a distraction basically for you at that point. All right. So, but that, of course, is about them getting more supply out of you and keeping you distracted and then actually making you more connected to the narcissist. All right. So number four, I have to reel you back in. If you have gone through that cycle of abuse with the narcissist and you guys were sexual, or maybe you weren't sexual, now he wants to reel you back in, and it's almost like consummating things through sexual activities because they feel like as long as I can keep this person having sex with me, they're putting this, basically dick whipping you or pussy whipping you. They're keeping you controlled because they understand the connection and bonds that people typically make through sexual activities. Okay? I mean, you women out there, when you sleep with a man, he is entering into your body. He's entering into your body. That's why in the Bible they say two become one. You become one flesh, and your souls are intertwining, your energies, okay? So the narcissist understands that bond, all right? And they understand reeling you back in. So that's the worst thing, one of the worst things you could do other than just talking to them, period. But you let them back in and you fall for the Hoover, and then you're back sleeping with them. You're going to find that you're not as strong anymore against this narcissist, okay? It's going to weaken you, all right? And you will regret it. All right, so let's go to number 5. Number 5 is to procreate only to deepen the entrapment that the narcissist has around you, okay? So they're, spewing this web around you. They don't want you to go anywhere. So yeah, procreating, as far as you women, getting you pregnant, and you men trapping you as well so that the female narcissist can get pregnant. This is to entrap you, to make it harder for you to leave in their mind, okay? All right, the next thing I have on my list here, number 6, to triangulate you with someone or to hoover someone else back in. So they're using you, to have an affair, basically, which I feel like narcissists are having affairs on everyone, whether you're the primary source or not. So they're basically using that affair with you to try to triangulate someone else. So they're using you as a part of their agenda to devalue and either discard someone else or devalue and reel them back in. Like, okay, well, and they may even make it easy for that person to find out that they're cheating. And then you're just basically being used as a pawn. The sex that you're having with the narcissist, just nothing but a tactic, a strategy to triangulate or hoover someone else. Okay? Next thing that I have on here is barter, to get something. Shelter, money, gifts, favors. Basically, you can look at the narcissist as like a prostitute at this point. And I'm going to say all the lower range narcissists are basically gigolos, the male ones. Okay? So they feel like, okay, well, I'm bringing you sex, so this is what I want you to bring me. So this is the barter. Okay? All right, so the next thing that I have on here for number 7 is to break your boundaries. Yeah, they feel powerful when they can break someone's boundaries because narcissists, they don't believe in boundaries. Okay, so if you tell the narcissist and confide in them, hey, for religious purposes, I want to wait until I'm married, or I want to do this way or that way, or I'm celibate right now and I want to stay that way for the rest of the year, and it's like June and you're meeting this narcissist who's trying to get you in the sack as soon as possible. The amount of fuel that they're going to get knowing that they got you to break your own boundaries for them, this is supply for them. And then, well, we'll go down the list to tell you what happened after that. So number 8, the narcissist wants to break your self-esteem, devalue, and shame you. So drawing off a number 7 there, they want to break your boundaries. So once they got you to do that, go against your religion, break your celibacy or your spirituality or whatever you got going on there. They want to make you feel bad and shameful for that. They'll probably throw that in your face when they're ready to start discarding you, which will probably be really soon after they got you to break that, because it'll be more potent then because you're already feeling guilty. So that's the perfect time in a narcissist's mind to go ahead and devalue you and discard you. Or they might even just jump to the discard where they ghost you and you never hear from them again after they've stolen your virginity or, got you to break your boundaries. Okay. And then also another part of the devalue and the shame is sometimes, the sexual acts that they may want to do may not be what you would be considered or something that you would be open to in your sexual relationships with another person, you know. So that type of thing, you might say, oh, well, I'm not into doing that in the bedroom or outside of the bedroom, whatever the narcissist is wanting you to do. Things that may feel degrading to you and devaluing to you, and obviously cheapens the sex that you're having with the narcissist because they're never making love to you. Okay. And the next thing that I have on my list is as a part of a discard. So it could tie into any of these, of course, but the narcissist is always working towards your discard one way or another. But hey, what better thing to do than to punish you? Perhaps you did something that the narcissist didn't like. So they would think something like, oh, I'm going to get back with you, or back at you, excuse me, by having sex with you and then discarding you. Get your emotions all caught up in them just to discard you. Yep, there ain't no love. Ain't no love in there. Ain't no feeling bad about it. It just is what it is. It is what it is. But notice, that none of it is about pleasing you. None of it is truly about satisfying you. None of it. It's all about the narcissist's control, the narcissist's power, the narcissist's supply that they are getting out of the situation and what they have going on. None of it is about you. So when you're having sex with a narcissist, you have to understand that you're just a tool. That's why, you might have heard someone say that the narcissist is masturbating on you, and I've heard that so many times. But what else would it be called if someone, is just using your flesh? There's no love, there's no type of love or care. So, just something for you guys to keep in mind when you're feeling like you miss rolling in the hay with a narcissist. I hope that this made some clarity to you because, it wasn't nothing to them but a fleshly act to get supply, power, and control, guys. All right, until next time, take care.